Namaste everyone. Uh, Dr. Harshavardhan here, faculty at Vice Academy. Today I am here to present a short video on COVID-19 and management protocols that have been published by various guidelines, how to manage urolithiasis during the COVID-19 pandemic. The standard guidelines that we follow are AUA guidelines and EAU guidelines. EAU has come up with a new set of guidelines in 2021. AUA as such has not published any guidelines specifically pertaining to COVID-19 guidelines. They have adapted from various resources. They have took up the data and they have published in their journal. As of now, Springer has come up with a beautiful article where they have summarized the various guidelines like AUA, BOSS, New Zealand guidelines, Canadian guidelines, and EAU guidelines. So for our exam point of view, AIIMS and NEET will follow AUA and EAU guidelines. So let us see what they have proposed how to manage regarding stones in the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay. First things first. Patient comes to you to OPD. Should you see OPD? Yes or no? If it is a non-emergency OPD, you can go for a tele-OPD. That is one of the guidelines that they have proposed. Go for telehealth or tele-OPD. Second thing, comes to you suspected stone disease. Patient is ephemeral. Patient is not having any severe pain or hematuria or urinary tract infection, and his renal function is supposed to be normal. Then there is no need of performing any imaging also. But if the patient is having any of the features like renal failure or having severe pain or features of sepsis or anuria, then you are dealing with something which is an emergency, so you need to go for a imaging protocol. Both AUA and EAU have recommended that NCCT-KUB is the best investigation for diagnosing stone in this COVID era. So unless otherwise there is a contraindication like pregnancy, go for NCCT-KUB. This is the first thing. Second one, whether to perform urine examination, yes or no? Yes, you have to perform if the patient comes to you, go for a urine routine as well as urine culture and sensitivity. Okay. Now coming to pain management. Both EAU as well as AUA guidelines both have proposed that pain management should be done with NSAIDs. So thus far we have known that how to manage pain and what investigation we should order according to the AUA and EAU guidelines. Now coming to the tricky part, stone. How to deal with stone during COVID. It all depends again on to the size of the stone and symptoms of the patient. Patient is asymptomatic, and if the size of the stone is less than 6 mm and if it is in the distal ureter, EAU guidelines propose to go for medical expulsive therapy or conservative management. Likewise, the cutoff value that has been given by AUA is less than 10 mm. Asymptomatic in the sense the patient is not having any signs of renal failure, not severe symptoms, then you can go for conservative management, that is with medical expulsive therapy up to the size of 10 mm according to AUA guidelines. What about the stone in the kidney? Non-obstructing lower calyceal stone, after seeing the CT scan, if you find that it is not going to cause an impending obstruction, then lower calyceal stones can be followed up. But if the size of the stone is greater than 2 centimeters or if it is an obstructing stone, then you may have to plan for some intervention. So what is the best intervention according to AUA as well as EAU? It is PCNL. If the size of the stone is greater than 2 centimeters, both AUA as well as EAU recommend to go for PCNL. Okay. What about less than 2 centimeter stone in the kidney? So if the size of the stone is between 10 to 20 mm, then you can offer ESWL as well as flexible URS as first line as management according to EAU, and same thing with AU also. Less than 2 centimeters, then you can offer ESWL or URSL, that means flexible ureteroscope or RIRS according to AUA guidelines. So to summarize, 2 centimeter stone, go for PCNL. 1 to 2 centimeter stone, you can go for flexible URS bar ESWL according to both EAU as well as AUA guidelines. Okay, next coming to sepsis and sepsis due to stone. So here you should go for emergency decompression. So what are the common modes of emergency decompression for a stone disease or obstructed system? There are only two alternatives. One is either stenting, other one is a percutaneous nephrostomy. Now the guidelines in COVID say, actually we know that PCN can be done in local anesthesia, stenting can be done in, usually done in kind of regional or general anesthesia. But in COVID, according to the COVID guidelines, AUA and EAU both have recommended to prefer local anesthesia for either DJ stenting as well as for PCN. Why? Because general anesthesia, giving general anesthesia means you are creating a aerosolized atmosphere, so the chance of getting COVID is high. Second one, your patient may have to have a longer stay in the hospital, so he may be susceptible for catching the COVID. And third thing is patient may also sometimes may need ventilator support because he has been given general anesthesia. So better to avoid GA during COVID times. That is the funda. So preferably do a PCN/electric stenting under local anesthesia for emergency decompression of the system or for sepsis. Okay. Again, next question arises, whether PCN or stent. So that is again a personal choice. But what the guidelines, COVID guidelines according to AUA and EAU suggest that better to go for stent. Why? The reason is, if you are putting a patient on nephrostomy, there is high chance that he may dislodge the nephrostomy. So he may have to come to the hospital again. So there is high risk of contracting COVID because of multiple visits to the hospital. So to avoid these kind of things, it is better to put a indwelling double J stent. Now, we know the longevity of stent is around, we should remove the stent within 2 to 3 months. But COVID guidelines say that if the case is not a priority case, if the renal function is not deteriorating, if it is not an emergency or semi-emergency surgery, then you can use a stent which can be left in situ for 6 to 12 months. That means long duration stents should be used. Okay. Now again, coming to one more point regarding stent. So once you have put a stent, you are bound to remove it. We have discussed in our Euro Basics class that there are certain types of stents called stents with strings. That means a string is there which will be hanging out through the penis. The advantage of such a stent is the patient need not come to the hospital. We can tell him, see, you can pull out this string, you can pull this string gently, the stent will come out. So you can give a specific time to him, that is after 6 weeks or after 10 weeks or after 12 weeks, whatever time you have prescribed. We'll ask the patient to gently pull out the stent with the string attached. So his hospital visit, we are cutting down on the hospital visit. So EAU recommends the use of stent with string, so that a visit to the hospital can come down. So this is all about stent. And one more thing is, as we are putting the stent for longer duration, that is like for 6 to 12 months, there is chance of stent encrustation. So when there is a chance of stent encrustation, we should counter it by giving some chemo stone dissoluting agents like some alkalizers, and all those things will help in preventing the stent encrustation. And also we should suggest the patient to take large amounts of water, which will prevent stent encrustation. One more point is, we know that stenting requires antibiotic prophylaxis, and we also know about the concept of prophylactic antibiotics or intermittent antibiotic prophylaxis from our infections class, especially in cases of recurrent UTI. So having an indwelling stent for 6 to 12 months, there is a chance that the patient may develop UTI. So there is a concept which has been developed by EAU guidelines, which is called pulsed antibiotics or intermittent antibiotic therapy, where the patient is advised to take antibiotics at a certain interval of time, so that his bacterial load will be less. So the chance of developing pyelonephritis or cystitis will come down. Okay. Next point is whether coronavirus is seen in urine, yes or no. Multiple studies have told that yes, live virus has been taken out from urine. So even while performing a small procedure like stenting or percutaneous nephrostomy, the urologist should don a total PPE kit with the glasses and also gum boots. That is what the recommendations have been given regarding PPE kits that a urologist should wear during stenting. Okay. This is all about urolithiasis that has been taken from various guidelines like AUA as well as EAU, that we should follow during COVID times. All the best. I hope it helps for the upcoming games as well as your NEET exam. Thank you.